Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rosewater. Where are we going? I mean, we're going there, but like, what's the next stop? I'm curious. I'd like to go to Fat Cat, but we're not gonna, so that's a shame. That is a shame. Who do we talk to?
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, Harley?
Looks like we have some time on our hands. How about a story?
Sure, why not? It was 1842, and I'd been hired by the sheriff of Bleachbone Gulch to track down some cattle rustlers.
Sure.
It was a long and winding trail, but by following the signs, I finally tracked down the stolen herd and the rustlers' camp. So I went back to town and gathered up a posse. 4 able-bodied men plus myself.
So 4 able-bodied men.
We went back under the cover of darkness. We had the element of surprise, but we were outnumbered 3-1. Before I knew it, the shooting had started. It was a long and bloody gunfight. In the end, yours truly was the last man left standing. I drove that whole herd on by my lonesome. They were all back home by dawn, with not a head missing. Lost some good fellers that night. But that was the end of cattle rustling in Bleachbone Gulch.
Hell of a story.
Now there's plenty more where that came from.
I appreciate the chat.
Anytime, Harley.
I don't buy it. I don't buy a word of that story. I'm sorry. Let's read a book.
I don't think I've read most of these.
But it seems very like doing nothing. I thought maybe they would do something. I don't know. Danny, do you have anything to say?
All right there, Danny?
Yep.
No, he don't. He doesn't have anything to say. Doesn't want to talk.
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
The Fortine family was nice, weren't they?
It was incredible to see such a strong family.
I think I've already
bond.
heard that.
They depend on each other completely for their livelihood and survival.
Maybe not.
Huh. There's a lady running toward the road. What the heck is she doing?
Running toward the road.
Madre de Dios!
I'd better see what's going on. What is it? Bandits? Highwaymen?
Worse. Performers.
Good day to you, travelers.
What's so good about it then? And what are you thinking, running out in front of the wagon like that?
I apologize for the theatrics. I fear it's in my nature.
And just who are you, anyway?
Who am I? Honestly, I suppose I'm, well, desperate.
That much is clear. You running away or something?
Heavens no, I could never do that. I'm the impresario of this theater troupe. Name's Kate Hatomi. Our show opens next week, and I'd be fibbing if I said it was going well.
That's a great pitch. If you want us to watch your show.
So you've decided leaping in front of wagons will put an end to your problems?
No, of course not. All I ask is an hour of your time. We've been rehearsing this play for so long. We're all too close to the material. We need fresh eyes and unbiased opinions. If you could but watch our rehearsal and share your honest, unvarnished impressions, you would be doing us a good turn. The performance will be gratis, of course.
Sure.
Sounds like a good time. What do you think, Miss Johnson?
I think it sounds like an excellent chance to get a few winks. I'll park just over there. Y'all have fun.
Smart.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and all the Queen's Mid-Atlantic players, welcome! This is a peek behind the curtain, if you will, at a work in progress. I thank you most humbly for your indulgence, and warmly invite you to share your impressions following the rehearsal. And
okay.
now, please enjoy the show.
So not yelling out in the middle of it, that's a shame.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a beautiful and charming princess.
Oh, I love my land. The people are kind, the water fresh, and the days are sunny and bright.
The The princess was loved and admired by everyone in the land, except one. An evil wizard coveted the kingdom and kidnapped the princess, intending to marry her and gain the throne.
Sorry, character.
To ensure she could not escape, he summoned a terrifying dragon to guard her.
Okay, sure. It's Act 1.
However, all was not lost. For a young hero rose to the challenge.
I shall battle the dragon and save the princess. That is, if my dear mother lets me. I said, if my mother lets me, of course.
Faye, that's your cue. Faye? Where the hell is Faye?
I don't know. Last I saw her, she was in her tent.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Shouldn't you have, like, seen her behind?
Sorry, folks, I don't know what I was thinking. It's clear we won't be getting anywhere with this rehearsal. You can change out of your costume now, Dwayne. We're done here. Martina? Quentin? Same goes for you.
But I spent hours on my makeup.
And I spent months on this show! Look where that's gotten us! Everything I do to keep all this together, and you lot can't even turn up on stage now and then to hit a mark and say a few lines!
You're yelling at the wrong people, though.
Off with you!
These two made it here. And they said the lines on cue.
I really must apologize for wasting your time. I knew the show needed some work. I didn't realize it wasn't fit to perform.
There must be some way we can help with the show.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Are you sure? Much as it pains me, I can't honestly say we aren't in need of help.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Certainly.
Well, I'm curious to hear your suggestions. But right now, we need to find out what's wrong with Faye. Your doctor friend went to examine her, but I think she's just having one of her tantrums. You know how actors can be. Or perhaps you don't. In which case, consider yourself lucky. I'm going back to the stage. Come see me if you have any ideas.
All right.
So, any ideas?
Perhaps. Excuse me. I'm going to have another look at the stage.
Sounds very ominous. Is he gonna blow it up?
Danny and I are gonna go talk to the two fellers playing the wizard and hero. I think you should help Miss Redbird see to that Faye woman. Anyhow, we'll see if we can't get this show in halfway decent shape. Come on, Danny boy.
Jake's all in on this because, you know, that's what he's doing. He's acting. Poorly. Hey, let's talk. What was it, Martina? Let's talk to her.
Hello, Miss Martina, was it?
Yeah, Martina Holder. I am sorry we could not finish the show for you.
No worries. My companions and I are trying to help your director make it better.
Ah, good. We do need the help.
When did you join this troupe?
Oh, about 4 years ago. Then my English was not so good, so I did not get many parts with words. But I am getting more and more lines in the new shows.
What were you doing before joining this troupe?
I was living in Bright Bay, working as an art model. One evening, the artist I modeled for took me to the theater to one of Miss Hatomi's shows. Afterward, he told me he was leaving to go to work for a new patron in Italy. He could no longer keep me.
So he took you out to lessen the blow?
Not exactly. It turned out he knew Miss Hatomi. He had painted some backdrops for her. He took me backstage after the show and asked her to let me audition. I was shaking. I cannot even remember what I said. I had never acted before, you see. But fortunately for me, Miss Hatomi decided to take me on. Otherwise, I would have been out on the street.
I'd like to know about your castmates.
They are fine people, and I am lucky to know them. Mr. Ellis always has stories and jokes to make me laugh. He reminds me of a big bear. He's also a very fine actor, and he has performed on stages in great cities all over Europe. Dwayne is very nice, but he's also very shy. He does not speak much with me or any of the others. I have always thought it is funny that an actor is so shy, but when he is on stage, one would never know. And Mrs. Davies is like a mother to me. She cares for us very much and wants to make sure everyone is healthy and happy. Although she does nag a lot. My real mother did not nag so.
Goodbye, Miss Holder.
Lovely to be speaking with you.
Where are you from? Also, OE would be probably an Ö, so actually Helder, but I don't know. I don't know. Is that a real accent? I don't know.
Oh, another visitor. Who are you?
Harley Leger. And you are?
Drunk.
Hey, Davies. I don't expect it's a name you've heard. And as I was explaining to your friend here, not a name I expect you'll hear very much in the future.
Those are big garbs.
Mrs. Davies, I would advise moderation in regards to that brandy.
Dear girl, I understand you like to dabble in medical matters. Let me assure you that this is the only medicine that works for me.
It's not medicine though, is it?
Mrs. Davies seems quite fond of this stuff. A few books and a collection of wax cylinders in that box.
Is it weird I'm looking at the
A
stuff?
few books and a collection of wax cylinders in that box.
Okay, it's the same.
A poster for some show I've never heard of called The Dissembling Mechanism. Apparently it opened on New Year's Day.
It's a weird opening day.
Mrs. Davies?
What is it?
How long have you been a member of this troupe?
Oh, not long at all. Less than a year. I was the last one to join.
What did you do before you were a Queen's Mid-Atlantic player?
I was with another outfit based up in Fawcett. The Davies Traveling Spectacular. 15 years we were together. Anton, my husband, was our director and I was the star. When I got too old to play the princesses and heroines, Anton would cast me as the ravishing queen. He always made sure I had a spot on center stage. 16 months ago, he passed away in a stagecoach accident. An enormous tragedy.
I'm terribly sorry.
So were we all. Anton was the fiercely beating heart of that troupe. Absolutely irreplaceable. The others couldn't imagine going on without him. So everyone just went their separate ways. Just like that, everything was gone. My heart's love, my director, my troupe, my livelihood. I'm sorry.
So, how did you come to join Miss Otomi's troupe?
Oh, the traveling theater world is quite small, you know. We all know one another and meet on the road from time to time. Kate heard what happened and wrote me a letter of condolence. We corresponded for a while. Eventually, she said she was passing by Fawcett and offered to take me in. Quite simply, she took pity on me.
I don't know that she would look at it that way.
What drew you to the stage?
I've known I wanted to act since I was a girl. I would put on shows for my parents and the village children. I traveled to Fawcett to audition for Anton Davies' Traveling Spectacular. He had just formed the troupe then. First, I became his star actress, and soon enough, his wife.
What can you tell me about the other players?
Oh, such sweethearts. They've taken me in like a second family. Martine, especially. She's the daughter I never had. Dwayne is a good boy, but he keeps to himself. And dear Quentin. He and I have something of a friendly rivalry. Although he can get quite competitive at times, the old ham.
Why weren't you on stage today? Is something wrong?
Something wrong? Something wrong? Exactly what aspect of my current condition would suggest to you that anything is right?
What's got you so upset?
I'm about to lose my place here, that's what. Turned out on the dusty road to fend for myself. I'm simply overcome with the sheer injustice of it all.
It's a tad dramatic, maybe.
You think you're being dismissed? Why's that?
Oh, it's a long story, but what it comes down to is finances, or lack thereof. Kate has been tightening the belt lately. She's says our performances haven't been attracting the crowds they once did. But even so, we aren't doing that badly. All of us have taken quite deep cuts to our usual allowance. It still doesn't seem to be enough. Naturally, I, being the most recent addition to the troupe, am the first up to the chopping block. If you ask me, something doesn't add up. I know for a fact that our run in Bois de Quivo is quite respectable. Yet apparently our financial future is dangling over the precipice by a fraying thread. It's all more than a tad suspicious.
All right.
If you were let go, what would you do?
Oh, God, please don't ask me such things. I can't bear to think about it.
It's a serious question. Everyone needs a backup plan.
I just don't know. Oh, what will I do? Kate couldn't be so heartless. Will they really just let me go? Will no one speak up for me? God, help me.
Yeah, more brandy. That's gonna help. Those are really big garbs.
There now. I'm sure there's a solution. So you suspect Miss Hitomi is taking more than her share?
We've all suspected it for some time, but I'm the only one who's willing to speak up about it.
Yeah.
Everyone else knows I'll be the first to go, so they keep their heads down and wait to reap my share.
You've accused Miss Hitomi?
Of course not. I haven't got any proof, but you can bet I would if I did.
I'll just leave you to it. Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Did you examine Mrs. Davies?
I did.
And what's your medical opinion?
She's fine.
I couldn't find anything wrong with her physically. At least nothing that an excess of brandy would explain. But she's in no state of mind to be performing.
I don't believe one needs to be a medical professional to draw that conclusion, my dear.
What's your opinion of the show?
Yes, please tell us. Don't be shy. I'd like to hear
We
what
barely
you
saw
think.
any of it.
I didn't quite understand it, actually. Perhaps it would make more sense if we had seen the whole thing.
Dear girl, I truly doubt that would have made much of a difference.
So rude.
I'll see you later.
So rude.
Not terrible as far as props go, but it could use some extra oomph.
Has to spew fire for sure.
Phil?
Harley?
What was your opinion of the performance?
It was not to my taste. However, with some improvements, it could be entertaining.
All right. See you later.
Very vague. I think
Miss
thinking the same
Hitomi?
thing though.
Yes?
What do you think would make the show better?
God, where do I begin? Faye's in a black mood. Quentin thinks his character lacks depth. Martina's unintelligible. And Dwayne's swordplay doesn't even rise to the level of farce. And naturally, theater's all about imagination. But with the quality of our set and props, I fear we are asking rather too much of our audience in that department. I'm this close to packing it all in.
When did you put this troupe together?
As it exists now? Oh, it's been about 5 years, I should say. That's when Quentin and I came over to Vespuccia.
What were you doing before starting this troupe?
I spent some time in London, then went traveling around Europe doing this and that, until I met Quentin.
Have you performed yourself, or do you stay out of the spotlight?
Me? Oh no, I haven't been on stage since Paris. Quentin and I used to do a little magic show, if you can believe it.
No fooling?
It was a very long time ago. Not worth remembering, honestly.
I want to hear about your cast.
Oh, they all have their talents. They wouldn't be in my troupe otherwise.
Sure.
But I don't hold with talking about people behind their backs. Why don't you get to know them yourself?
But I didn't talk in front of their backs.
What's wrong with Quentin's character?
Not a thing! Everyone loves to hate the evil wizard. He's a guaranteed crowd pleaser. But Quentin thinks the role lacks depth, that his talents as an actor, and they are considerable, are going to waste. And yes, perhaps he has a point, but for God's sake, this is not the Royal Arcadium! We performers have a saying, there are no small roles, only small-minded, puffed-up thespians who suppose that entertaining the common man is somehow beneath them.
Yeah.
I love Quentin, really I do, but I've had it up to here with his carping and grousing. He doesn't listen to me, but you're welcome to try bringing him down to earth if you'd like.
Sure.
What's the problem with Martina?
Weren't you listening? She doesn't so much say her lines as chew on them and cough them out. She's a sweet girl, and her physical performance is outstanding. The things she can do with just her eyes. I'm loath to cut her part or take away the few lines she already has, but unless she finds some way to magically rid herself of that blasted Teutonic accent, I may have to.
That's rude. It's my accent too.
You don't think the swordplay is good enough?
Setting aside that our prop swords are as likely to crumble to bits or give the players paper cuts as they are to make it through a scene intact, it's just not very convincing or compelling. Dwayne either needs to get more adept at handling them, or we need to rethink the whole sword thing.
I really saw a sword.
Thank God this play doesn't feature a real sword-fighting duel, but it does need a big climax where the hero slays the dragon. How are we supposed to do that without a sword?
Gun.
What can we do to make your set and props better?
The best thing we've got is the dragon head, but it's not exactly intimidating, is it? Your friend over there said he might have an idea to make it better. Honestly, at this point, I'm all ears.
I had a chat with Mrs. Davies. She seems to think her position's in jeopardy.
What? Why would she think that?
Are you saying you're not planning on letting her go?
Of course not, especially not so close to opening night. What a ridiculous notion! Honestly, I don't know where Faye gets these ideas.
So long.
Take care.
Goodbye. Alright, what's the button again? I haven't looked at this yet.
I bet Jake wishes his show's backdrop was half as realistic.
He might. How do we make Martina speak, like, more
Someone
clearly?
kept a
I have
copy
no
of a
idea.
local newspaper.
Maybe get her drunk? That might actually help. It's not the worst idea.
The desk is covered in papers. Lots of notes.
Anything useful?
What a mess. Most of these seem to be show notes. Here's a list of names. Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
It's a code.
It's a poster for a musical show called Carondelet. It opened on June 2nd. Must be one of Miss Hitomi's previous shows.
Okay, so that's 2, maybe?
A poster for The Mystery at Delphi. Opened on November 6th.
That's 6.
The desk is covered...
Alright, the Los Vírgenes Herald. Traveling players perform Camelot in the park before bemused onlookers. Picnickers, ramblers, and families intent on enjoying a leisurely afternoon in Los Vírgenes Pelican Park last Sunday were doubtless left befuddled by a nearly incoherent plein-air rendition of this chivalric drama Camelot staged there by impresario Miss Hitomi's itinerant theater troupe, the Mid-Atlantic Players. Like, you shouldn't call yourself mid, you know. The polyglot players, hailing from all over Vespuccia and the far reaches of the globe, gargled and fumbled through their lines in a stilted fall medieval patois. Riddled with these and thous and forsooths, as they strove to bring King Arthur's court to life amidst the palms and fountains of the West Lawn. Evidently in the habit of traveling light, the performers were obliged to make do with next to nothing in the way of sets, costumes, or props that might enliven the spectacle and in any way further the illusion of a courtly medieval setting for the drama. As to drama, the plot was paper thin, a stock tale of good overcoming evil, wholly lacking in the subtlety and nuance, not to mention any trace of the courtliness and charm one might expect in a romance from days of yore. The legions of Napas, taking advantage of the late afternoon haze to doze on the soft grass, evidently found little in the way of thrills during the proceedings to rouse them from their slumber. Perhaps a more fitting description of the scene. Days of Boar. Wow. Right, born on August 30th to Mr. and Mrs. Pierre de la Roche of Punta Blanca, their firstborn son Pierre Auguste Jean-Paul de la Roche, weighing 8 pounds 3 ounces. Is that? Yeah, I guess that's the normal rate. In some years' time, the young Mr. Pierre de la Roche Jr., heir to the de la Roche family fortune, is sure to become the county's most eligible bachelor. Sure. Married Mr. Charles Grayson, 27, to Miss Bella Levinsky, 18, on Saturday the 3rd at the Church of the Holy Waters in Las Vegas. The bride was given away by her uncle, Mr. Abraham Levinsky. Dr. Roy Oakes, 73, to Mrs. Elsinora Snow, 81, widow of the late Mr. Frederick Snow, at the Snow family's Corona Beach mansion. The children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of both the espoused were in attendance. Like, you know, like 73-81 as an 80 age gap is fine. 27-18, it's 9 years. that seems too much, kind of. You know, I don't know, but that's a weird. That's 18 is very young. Anyway, local blacksmith. I guess it's 1850, but still. Local blacksmith Mr. Arnold Paget, 51, of Wilshire Lake, in a tragic boating accident died, and then he's survived by his wife and 8 daughters, all unwed, now left without means of support. I think it could work. Memorial to be held on Friday next at 4 p.m. at Christ Chapel of Wilshire. Whatever happened to Dr. Bennett Clark, once hailed as the wizard of ethericity? Dr. Bennett Clark has fallen from the public eye in recent years. After the public outcry following the deaths of 15 people in the Lamplight City Expo disaster of 47, he hastily relocated to Rosewater, West Vespuccia, or Western Vespuccia, I don't even know. For a time, he continued a series of public demonstrations, albeit to a diminished audience. No word has been heard of Dr. Clark in nearly a year, despite the awesome destruction. Awesome in 1850, I guess. Destruction he wrought. He claimed his only wish was the betterment and protection of all mankind. By harnessing and taming the mighty dragon of ethericity, Clark hoped to bring salvation to the common citizen. As the wizard, protection, taming, salvation. Interesting, capitalized. What does this one say again?
What a mess. Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
Carondelet, Delphi.
A traveling trunk. Looks like it's been quite a few places.
Interesting.
All sorts of costumes, fake beards, and other theatrical accessories. If my eyes don't deceive me, that's a false compartment. Just need to figure out how to open it. No way I can force it open. A brass button.
Yeah, okay, so we press the right buttons.
A pair of leather boxing gloves.
Okay, so maybe it's not...
These might be useful.
Okay, we're just stealing
All
stuff.
sorts of costumes.
We don't need any of the other stuff, I guess. Okay. So we need Othello, Carondelet, Assemble, Delphi, something like that. So Delphi was what?
A poster for the Mystery at Delphi.
6.
Opened on November 6th.
Delphi. I don't think it's Delphi.
A poster for a musical show called Carondelet. It opened on June 2nd.
Second, alright, so we need the other two. Not sure where we get them, but we'll figure it out.
A cylindrograph. It's for playing music on wax cylinders.
That makes sense.
A poster for some show I've never heard of called The Dissembling Mechanism. Apparently it opened on New Year's Day.
That's one. Actually, whatever. Where do we go from here to get to the other place? Here? Yeah, that's the path. I see it.
Hey, Danny?
Yes, Harley.
You fellas talking about anything interesting?
Dwayne's showing me his stunt sword play. He's supposed to battle the dragon at the end of the play. I tried giving him a few pointers, but it's not going so great.
What did you think of the show?
Well, I'll put it this way. If one of Jake's shows went that way, I'd be looking for another job.
Talk to you later, Danny.
See you.
Hey there.
Oh, hello.
What are you doing with that sword?
Practicing for the show. I didn't get to do my big fight scene with the dragon.
That sword seems to be giving you some trouble.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time getting the hang of it. The balance on this thing is terrible, and I'm always afraid of breaking it. I never liked working with prop weapons. But as long as we're doing medieval romances, I guess I'm stuck with this sword.
Maybe you can like find a real sword.
How did you end up on board with this crew?
Oh, I met Miss Hitomi and Mr. Ellis back east when they passed through my town in Appalachia. Snuck out of the house to see the show. I went backstage after to ask if I could audition to join. Miss Hitomi said no. So, after they packed up for the night, I stowed away in the wagon. Rode halfway to La Roche before they found me. That was when my real audition happened. Mr. Ellis spoke up for me. He said, "Now, Katie, my dear, you would be a bloody fool to leave the lad behind after a performance like that."
You don't sound like Appalachian to me.
How did you know you wanted to act?
I always liked listening to other people, hearing how they talked. Used to practice in front of a mirror and try to imitate them.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd dress up to get the look just right. Ma didn't like that much.
What do you think of your fellow troupe members?
Some days I hate them. Most days I love them. And any day, I would die for them. We're a
dramatic.
strange little family, you know? Mr. Ellis and Miss Hitomi are a squabbling ma and pa. Dear boy, you must make more time for yourself. There are too few hours in the day as it is. Oh, leave the boy alone, Quentin. He can decide how to spend his time. And Miss Davies is our busybody aunt. Are you comfortable? Have you got everything you need? Is that costume too itchy?
So that would make Martina like your sister?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Are you sweet on Martina?
With all due respect, that's none of your concern, ma'am.
Say, you're good at imitating other people.
Oh, thanks. It's always been kind of a specialty of mine. Used to get me in a lot of trouble back home, so I only do it for laughs nowadays.
What were you doing before joining this troupe?
Working on my parents' farm. It was a rough life. Wasn't much to my liking. No glamour, no surprise, no fun, no opportunity to meet anyone interesting. And my father was very strict. All he wanted was for me to marry our neighbor's daughter so I would inherit his land and grow our family's holdings. Eventually, I realized I would die if I stayed any longer. My soul would die anyway, so I left.
I've heard a rumor that Miss Hitomi might be keeping some extra funds. Know anything about that?
Oh, sure, I've heard that rumor too, but I don't much believe it. Miss Hitomi takes good care of us. She'd never cheat us out of our earnings.
How do you feel about boxing?
I'd be happier doing any kind of unarmed fighting style, really. But how am I supposed to box a dragon?
With style and panache, that's how. It's all about confidence.
That's true.
And I have a feeling you'd look much more confident without that sword.
You don't think the audience would be confused?
It's your job to make them believe it. They just want a good show.
I don't know. We've never done a boxing scene. I don't really know a lot about the form.
I'm an expert.
I used to do some boxing back in the day. Could show you some moves if you like.
Heck, sure. Why not? This whole sword thing clearly isn't working for me. But I'd rather not do it bare knuckle. Not really into the whole suffering for my art thing.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
I'll
Makes
see what I
sense.
can come up with. Thanks. You can get back to your training.
Thanks, ma'am.
Maybe we should bare knuckle punch him. No, we're not gonna punch him. He doesn't deserve it.
I found some boxing gloves in Miss Hitomi's trunk, if you want to practice sparring.
Oh, sure. That'd be great.
Danny, how'd you like to help out?
Sure.
Yeah, you get punched. Those are
First,
tiny
your stance
gloves.
is all wrong. Stagger your feet, 1 foot in front, weight evenly balanced, knees slightly bent. Good. Now, show me what you can do. Not bad. Not bad. Try not to let your elbow flare out, Dwayne. Protect the ribs.
Yeah, in case the dragon punches
I think
back.
you boys are getting the hang of it.
Looks alright. Maybe they should like get one of those like what else did you punch into? Those I don't know things. You hold up and the other person punch him.
Ah, one of your companions has decided to join us.
Indeed.
This is Harley Leger. She used to be a performer of sorts herself, you know.
You don't say. What sort?
I was a fighter. Not sure that really counts.
My dear, if an audience paid money to come see you, that counts as performing in my book. I'm Quentin Ellis, by the by. Delighted to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Good voice too. What's a good voices?
Quentin Ellis is Othello, premiering October 7th.
7, sure.
Could I have a moment, Mr. Ellis?
Of course, my dear.
Just how long have you been a part of this troupe?
Why, since before its inception. That is to say, Kate and I have known each other since well before this incarnation of the troupe was formed. We met in Paris, you see, back in 27.
What did you do before joining the troupe?
I was classically trained at the York Theatrical Academy. I performed all over England before decamping for the continent. When I met Katie, I was touring Europe playing before the crowned heads. Why, my performance as Othello received a standing ovation from Archduke Hubert of Austria.
Sure.
What drew you to the stage?
Ah, the eternal question. What drew you to the ring?
Money. Found out my tolerance for pain was higher than my tolerance for hunger.
I see. An empty belly is a demanding muse indeed. For me, it was love of the art. I was born with it.
Paris, you say? What was that like?
Ah, those were the days, wild and carefree. We found welcome from a public receptive to our more experimental forays. Nothing like the audiences you find here, mind. Dusty farmers and unlettered cowpokes, the lot of them.
Yeah. It's not gonna get better.
I'd like to know about the others in your troupe.
Fishing for nasty gossip, are we? Unless you have a couple of glasses and a bottle or two of very good liquor stashed somewhere about your person, you won't be getting any of that from me. Truly, they are good people, and I cherish every one of them. We rely on one another. Granted, we have our occasional quarrels, but what family doesn't?
That's fair.
It's true that none of them have my training and decades of stage experience, so naturally they look to me for guidance and mentorship.
Alright.
Is it true you used to have a magic act?
Why, yes, it is. Funny, I'd almost forgotten. Katie and I briefly tried our hand at stage magic. She was quite adept at sleight of hand, but in the end it wasn't our true métier. Too much meticulous planning and bulky, specialized equipment. No room for spontaneity and delight. No emotional connection. No, it wasn't for us. Now Katie uses the old magic trunk to store costumes.
Miss Hitomi said something about you being unhappy with your character.
Oh, don't get me started. The evil wizard is a stock villain, paper thin, a cipher. All I do is tromp on stage and glower at the audience. He wants to rule the kingdom and kidnaps the princess, all right. But why? What motivates him to do it? Drama comes
evil.
from a rich depth of character. Complexity, not caricature. I need something I can work with, something to sink my teeth into.
Yeah.
What if Jake and I came up with a better history for your character?
Do you think you could?
Sure. Harley's got the gift of writing, and I've been known to spin a yarn or two.
Very well. I must admit I'm curious to see what you come up with. Why does the wizard want to rule the kingdom?
He has humble origins, but always felt he was meant for greater things.
Yeah, it's been his ambition since childhood, but he's never been given a fair shake.
Ah, yes. Destiny, ambition, greed. Classic stuff. All right, but why does he kidnap the princess?
He's actually keeping her safe from the dragon.
Unexpected. I like it. And how does the dragon fit into all this?
Alright, what do we have here? Okay, so if the wizard is protecting the princess from the dragon, then the dragon being the wizard's pet doesn't make sense, and the dragon being the wizard's weapon doesn't really make sense. And this doesn't really make sense, so we'll go with the last one.
The dragon is the wizard's mother, transformed by a spell he can't break.
Unless he feeds the princess to her.
Oh my, this certainly took a turn. You have some unusual ideas, but I'm not sure they all quite fit together.
No.
Perhaps you should give it a bit more thought.
Yeah, I agree.
I heard a rumor that Miss Hitomi might be misappropriating the troops' funds.
Poppycock, pure hearsay. I'll bet Faye put that poison in your mind. I have known Katie longer than anyone. She is many things, but never a thief.
Appreciate the chat.
The pleasure was all mine, dear.
Lots of notes and sketches of different costumes and disguises. Mr. Ellis seems rather versatile.
Yeah, you can have like long hair, short hair, or a beard. Or any combination of beard and hair, I guess.
That is quite a lot of makeup. Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
You seem quite at home among these performers.
Sure. These are my kind of people. Old Quentin and I have been trading tales about life in showbiz. You ought to stick around and have a listen. You might learn something.
How did you find the show?
Well, there's definitely room for improvement.
I'll just be on my way.
Alright, we'll try the dragon thing again later. I don't know, the dragon options are sucked. I didn't like them. Anyway. Oh, it's this one, right? Two, 4, 6, 7.
A brass butt, Mr. Ellis. Maybe these buttons aren't just for decoration.
Yeah, they're not. 7, 2, 1, 6.
Hot damn! Quite a bit of cash in here. So Miss Hitomi is skimming off the profits? Perhaps that book might shed some light on things.
Or we just take the cash?
Seems to be some kind of diary or ledger. I'd better take a look at this. Huh. It seems Miss Hitomi's keeping the extra money to invest in the show. She calls it a rainy day fund, and she has a separate space for emergency salary reserve. So Mrs. Davies was wrong. I ought to show her this. Maybe it'll calm her down.
Yeah, I think that's a good car. Okay, so we fixed the fighting. We're gonna fix the dragon wizard thing. We're gonna fix this. Don't
Mrs.
know
Davies?
about this
What is
the
it?
accent though.
I spoke with Miss Hitomi, and she said she has no plans to let you go.
Well, of course she would say that. That's how it works in this business. All seems well and good until the monthly budget is drawn up, and then the trapdoor opens beneath you and you swing.
So you don't trust Miss Hitomi's word?
I don't trust anyone's word. Only ink on paper.
I'll just leave you to it.
Fortunately, I do have ink on paper.
I found this ledger in Miss Hitomi's trunk, along with some cash.
So I was right. This is exactly the proof I was looking for.
It's not quite what you think. Look at the entries.
Rainy Day Fund. Emergency Salary Reserve. She isn't keeping this for herself.
She's setting it aside to help you all.
Oh dear, how embarrassing. What a fool I've been.
We all make mistakes. So now that you know your position is safe, will you get on stage and perform?
Yes, of course. Thank you for clearing up this misunderstanding. I really do appreciate it.
I don't think she'll be needing this anymore. Let's see. There are a few wax cylinders here.
Okay. Knights in shining armor, villainous intent, saloon sing-along, funeral dirge. I don't know why we're taking these. I mean, we can play them outside, I guess, but I don't know why we're doing that. Actually, let's look at it first.
Knights in shining armor.
We used this music for Twin's character in our last show.
I take it he was the hero in that one too?
Yeah, that is right. He's playing all the heroes.
Okay, don't know why we needed that.
I don't want to be juggling these. I'll swap this for the one I've got.
Good call. I don't know why we're doing this though.
This was the music we used for Mr. Ellis in the show we did before.
What character did he play there?
A train robber.
Why do we need to know this? I don't know if we do.
A cylinder.
Oh, I love this one. This was the first song I learned in English, you know.
You don't say. How does it go?
All of the little maidens go strolling along.
Okay, that's how we fix
The
it.
little boys come to sing them a song. All of the little children start dancing in line, and all of them have such a wonderful time. All have a wonderful time.
I think that's something that really works too. I've never heard people.
Interesting. Her accent all but disappears when she sings.
Nah, let's listen to the last one too.
A cylinder.
Oh, I do not like this one. It reminds me of sad times.
It is rather grim. Have you used it in a show before?
Nein, Miss Hitomi says audiences prefer happy endings.
Sure. take this one again, just in case. Alright, so what can we do now? We should go, yeah, let's go talk to Quentin again. Try and figure out the story. Or give him some booze.
Oh, I said good liquor, my dear, not that swill fey drinks.
Fair enough.
Could I have a moment?
Of
Let's take...
All right. Why does the wizard want to rule the kingdom?
He doesn't want to rule. He wants to save the kingdom.
Yeah, in his mind, he's the real hero.
Oh, intriguing. A subversion of our expectations. All right, but why does he kidnap the princess?
He's actually keeping her safe from the dragon.
Unexpected. I like it. And how does the dragon fit into all this?
The dragon is the wizard's mother, transformed by a spell.
You'll try a different one, I
break.
think.
Unless he feeds the princess to her.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh my, this certainly took a turn.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
You have some money. Perhaps you should...
Let's...
Or why?
Okay.
He doesn't...
Yeah.
Save the kingdom. Protect
He's actually...
And how...
the princess.
The wizard wants to tame the dragon and harness its power to serve the kingdom.
Ah, I see. So truly he's just misunderstood. Yes, yes. Oh, this is a much more interesting and complex figure. The wizard is human, like any of us. He has his own needs and desires. He is conflicted. He strives to do the right thing, however that appears to him. He is the protagonist of his own story. This I can work with. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. Appreciate the chat.
The pleasure was all mine, dear.
Indeed it was.
I've got nothing to ask him.
Alright.
He's busy right now.
He's busy too, though.
Keep at it. Doing great.
Okay, anything we can do here?
That thing's been through the ringer a few times. Suppose being an actor requires a certain attention to one's physique.
Not necessarily.
No mistaking who this wagon belongs to.
Yeah. What do we need the booze for? Maybe for the dragon. That makes some sense to me.
Phil?
Harley?
Had any ideas to make the show better?
Yes, I believe so. This dragon head is amusing, but with some pyrotechnics,
Yeah, I knew it.
could really impress a crowd.
You want to make it breathe fire?
Yes.
Ah, indeed. Far more effective, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Definitely. But how do you intend to pull it off?
I can rig it up quite easily, but I need a fuel source.
Like the accelerant I gave you for your detonator.
Precisely.
All right. See you later.
This is work.
Here. How about this for some fuel?
Yes, this will work. Excuse me. I must go backstage and set up the prop.
Do that.
Miss Hitomi?
Yes?
What's the problem with Martina?
Weren't you listening? She's a sweet girl. I'm loath to cut, but
So long.
Take.
Well, we have to talk to Martina first, sure. Make her, tell her to sing instead of speak. But that is actually a thing. Like I've heard people that sing with an accent or speak with an accent and then sing without one.
Miss Holder?
Yeah?
I must say, you've got a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, why thank you.
I couldn't help but notice how clearly your words come out in song.
Yeah, you're not the first to say this to me. I cannot explain it. It is just something which happens.
Say, I've just had a crazy idea. Rather than speaking your lines, why not sing them?
Sing them? That is an interesting thought, but would it not be strange?
Strange? Haven't you ever heard of opera?
But if only I am singing and no one else?
It's a little unorthodox, sure, but isn't that what art is all about? Being expressive, doing the unexpected. I think it will really bring some emotion to the role. It'll be like your character is too pure to just say words. The feeling is so strong she has to sing them.
Yeah, I think I see what you are saying. Very well. I will try this next time.
Goodbye, Miss Holder.
Lovely to be speaking with you.
It is, isn't it? I agree. Alright, I think we're ready for another run through then.
Miss Hitomi?
Yes?
I think you can try a second rehearsal now.
Really? You sure?
Positive. Let's get this show going.
Or so I store your boxing gloves in your ledger. And some booze.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a beautiful and charming princess.
How I love my land. The people are kind, the water fresh, and the day sunny and bright.
The princess was loved and admired by everyone in the land, except one. An evil wizard coveted the kingdom and kidnapped the princess, intending to marry her and gain the throne.
Hark! You may think me evil, but wait until you discover my true intentions.
To ensure she could not escape, he summoned a terrifying dragon to guard her.
That's a lot of fire. Very good.
However, all was not lost. For a young hero rose to the challenge.
I shall battle the dragon and save the princess. That is, if my dear mother lets me.
My dearest boy, proud as I am of your bravery, I worry so for your safety.
Fear not, mother, for I shall return victorious from battle.
And so the brave lad rode to the castle and confronted the mighty dragon.
Looks different.
Foul beast! Your end is nigh!
One hit KO, wow.
With the dragon defeated, our brave hero rescued the princess and
one
vanquished
jab.
the wizard.
Curses! My plans have been foiled.
Oh, my brave son has returned.
Ah, your highness, I am smitten by your beauty. Will you marry me?
Yes, yes, gladly will I marry you.
And they lived happily ever after.
What a show.
Well, at least we made it through to the end that time. Your fixes made a big difference. It's given me a lot to consider. Quentin has offered to do some rewrites. I'm sure he'll get us in good shape by next week.
Glad to be of service.
I'm curious to know how it all turns out. Send me a note at the Rosewater Post after you premiere.
Gladly.
We should be on our way. Miss Johnson has surely awoken from her nap by now.
Doubt it.
True enough. Break a leg next week, Miss Hitomi.
Thank you. Safe travels.
We did what we could for Miss Hitomi and her folk.
That we did.
In the end, they formed a strange kind of family, and they seemed determined to keep on going. We've kept on going too. The oppressive, arid heat is beginning to give way to fresh breezes and forested slopes as we leave the desert scrub behind and cross into the mountains. Onward and upward.
Indeed. Family seems to be like a theme, right? So we had obviously the Fortine family, then the theater troupe family, and even like the crazy cart guys were kind of like our family, right? They found a family, born from like tragedy, I suppose, but still. And then you have like Phil and his country, right? And the rebellion or whatever, and you have Nadine, who doesn't have like a family. Anyway, definitely a theme, I would say, for this one. And even like, I don't know, I guess Jake's hard to read. Both Harley and Danny also have like experienced loss. People close to them, and like Danny left his family, and yeah, I don't know. And the adopted dog. Even what's this like Chem, the guy we punched, and his brother. He might not be his brother. Anyway, right, that's it for today though. Good progress. Where are we now on the map? Let's have a look. Slowly. I don't think we've moved. Because we'll move, I don't know, have we moved? Very little if we did indeed. Does it still have the booze on me? No, it's gone. Right, I gave it to Phil, I forgot. But we have this. I guess, there's a Dr. Clark reference there, so maybe that's why. What should I do with this?
It's got a nice fruity aroma. Kind of sweet.
Can we make some tea? There's a kettle here. And I mean, there's a fire going, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.